Welcome to Lemon Positivity Podcast. I'm Billy Highland, your host. I'm so excited to bring you this episode titled Everything is Energy, and it's one of my favorite topics, energy, because we are all energy. And I want to start this episode just like I do every other episode with a quote for us to think and ponder as we dive deeper into this subject of energy. So this quote I want to share with you is from Albert Einstein. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. Albert Einstein. I repeat, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. And that is from Albert Einstein. And I thought that was an appropriate quote for us to kick off this episode that I've titled Everything is Energy. And let's talk a little bit more in depth about that quote and what he was trying to convey in that concept to us. And it's the idea that everything in the universe, including matter and thoughts, is made up of energy. He suggests that aligning our thoughts and intentions with the desired reality or outcome, we can attract and manifest that reality in our lives. Essentially, he's highlighting the idea that energy that we give off, that we emit, both in our thoughts and our actions, plays a significant role in shaping our experiences and the world around us. And I believe that. Let's dive into a few examples of that. If you ever meet someone or enter a room where maybe there's a family member or something, you can sense or you can feel the energy that's going on. Maybe that person is positive and cheerful, and you feel that energy, and you are able to exchange like to like with that. Or maybe someone's not in a great mood or their energy's low, and it kind of brings things down and you feel it. So I think as we get deeper into this episode, I want to challenge you to be aware of the energy that you put out there in the universe. Now, I'm also talking about the energy levels that we have in our everyday life. A lot of times I meet people, or I know people, or I work with clients who express that they have a lack of energy, or they wish they just had more energy in their day. And so what I start to brainstorm with them or look into is, what are your habits? What are the habits during your day? Because that often will guide and serve as to why you may be feeling a lack of energy, which I believe energy is one of the most important things. Having an abundance of energy, because it lets us live a better everyday life. It lets us do the things we want to engage in with family and friends and experiences. And if we don't have the energy, we can't do the things we want to do in life. So, I'm going to share some habits that can help create more energy in your everyday life, but I'd like for you to take a moment to reflect on where you're at on your energy level. If I was to give you the scale of 1 to 10, where would you fall on your energy level? Now, I am at a 8 in my energy level. I'm usually, my highest energy manifests itself early in the morning. I feel fresh, invigorated, ready to take on the day. Being outside energizes me, so I feel that I'm at an 8. And then I have to check in throughout the day, and I even set my alarm on my phone with the question, where's your energy at certain times of the day, so that I can incorporate some habits that will help raise my energy levels. So let me ask you, where are you today? Where's your energy? Where are you falling? Are you a 4? Maybe you're a 6, maybe you're a 7, maybe you're a 10. And that's amazing. And if you are, so wherever you fall on that spectrum, start to take a step back and ask yourself, why am I at that level? So again, I was saying how I was at an 8. It's because it's the morning, I had breakfast, I drank lemon water, I did some exercise, I rode my bike, I'm at the park, I'm surrounded by nature. All these things enhance or increase my energy. So wherever you fall on that spectrum, ask yourself, why am I a 4? Do I feel tired? Did I not get enough sleep the night before? Am I overworked? Am I not eating right? Or maybe you're a 7. Maybe I look at a 7 as, nobody wants to be a 7. 7 is just like, I'm getting by. It's okay. But I think there are things we can do to be better than a 7, right? Wouldn't it be great if you woke up every day and throughout the day you were a 10 when it comes to energy? Imagine what that would feel like, and that transfer of your energy and feeling that onto others that you come into contact with, and what you would attract. It gets back to Einstein's quote there about your thoughts and your energy and your intentions, and what you put out in the universe, you will attract back. So if you have high energy, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling positive, you're going to attract that energy back into your life. You're going to manifest those desires and those intentions. I know that we can all relate, and we have those moments when we are out of gas, exhausted. And I'm going to give a few examples there, but again, talking about the importance of energy, let me give you something that's related to my experience. My 2 boys love soccer. They live and breathe soccer. They know all the teams, all the players, and we started to go watch a local semi-pro soccer team in town, and we're having such a blast. It's at our local college where they play, and the boys get to interact with the players. They get to go on the field at halftime at the end of the game and play themselves. And we went to the game last night, and after the game, we're standing there. My boys raced out to the field to get autographs from the players, have them sign their soccer balls and their jerseys. And then they would go over by the goalie net, and my son Aiden would play goalie, and my other son Owen would kick the ball toward him, trying to score. And they looked like they were having so much fun. And I'm like, I couldn't let that opportunity go by, so I raced down there on the field with them and played with them and kicked the ball. And, it was later in the evening. I don't have a tremendous amount of energy like I do in the morning at that time, but I'm like, I couldn't pass that opportunity to engage and have that experience with my boys and actually run and play and kick and experience the joy that they were experiencing playing soccer. And I attribute that to my level of energy, and we can connect energy to our health and where we are. And I feel that I'm in good enough physical shape that I was able to engage and get on the field. And just running around a soccer field, wow, it's amazing what these young athletes can do, and what tremendous amount of physical conditioning you have to be in to race back and forth on that soccer field. Because at a couple moments, I was out there and I'm like, you feel like that 20, 30-year-old kid again, and then you realize, wait a second, I'm 50. But you know what? I am so grateful. I am so thankful that I have the energy, vitality, and the physical fitness to go out there with my 10 and 8-year-old and play soccer with them. My energy was high, especially after playing with them, because I had that experience and that connection with them. So that's why energy is so important. And a lot of times I hear people saying, I'm exhausted, I'm overworked, I'm challenged, I don't have the energy. Especially it's concerning when I hear people that want to do something that sounds like it would excite them, but they express they don't have the energy to do it. And I found myself in those positions. There are a lot of things that I want to do, and sometimes I just don't have the energy to accomplish or to do all of them. So there's always room for improvement when it comes to energy. And so what I think I want to get into is habits, because this podcast is all about positive habits to help you live a better everyday life, help increase life. And energy is so central and key to living a better everyday life. We need to look at our habits, and I want to share some habits with you that can that level of energy. And if you remember and you listen to some of my previous podcasts, I talked about starting small and small steps. And so with any habits that you have, remember to start small. Okay? So let's talk about one habit that I think is super important when it comes to our overall health and energy. And that is sleep. You see studies out there, you see people talking about sleep, the importance, and I think we can all recognize, especially as we get older, how important sleep is. Now I look back and can't fault my parents or my grandparents for wanting us to take naps, because it was important to our health. It was important to our energy levels. So I would ask that you take a look at your sleeping habits. What time do you go to bed at night? What time do you wake up? What are your habits before bed? Are you on your phone? Is your room cool enough? When did you have your last meal? You don't want to have food, you don't want to intake a lot of food before you go to bed. And it's important to look at those habits. I know I've had clients who've said, I'm watching Netflix to 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and then I fall asleep. There has to be some other way. You have to protect that time, and you have to understand how important sleep is. And I know you're saying, well, Billy, that's all great, but I've got a family, I've got kids, I've got work. I can't fall asleep at night. I can't get into that rhythm. So I'd ask you to just take a step back and look at those habits. What's one thing you can do differently? How can you change your sleep habits? And really making sure I go to bed at this time and I wake up at this time, and make it consistent. Try not to eat too much before bed. They say it's best to have your last meal about 3 hours before eating. And one thing I've learned too is to stop drinking any water or anything before bed. a couple hours. Otherwise, you'll be going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and God knows that disrupts sleep. So make sure that you prioritize sleep, and that should help and starting to give you some more energy. Another habit that I like to promote, obviously through lemon water, but it's just hydration. Drinking a little bit more water. It's really profound when I talk to people and how little they drink water. And I found myself in that too, right? We all have the water bottles with us and different things, and I'll notice I'll have a big water bottle and it says if I drink this big ginormous water bottle, I'll have but I don't for some reason. I don't know why. And I've heard a lot of people, and they've had many different ways of how can I make sure I stay hydrated. So again, I would suggest starting small with sips, making sure you're taking sips throughout the day, but hydration. Because anytime that I feel tired or my energy levels are off, I ask myself, have I had enough water today? And so I would promote staying hydrated and making sure you drink an adequate amount of water each day. That can help create some energy. Another habit, obviously, is exercise. Exercise. Now, it takes a lot of energy just to get out there and do it. To put one foot in front of the other, to put your shoes on, to put your gym clothes on, to get to the gym, to get on the bike, to go walk around the block. But once you do it, you create momentum and you create energy. So I'm not going to get into this too much, but it's super simple. Exercise. And here's something that I like to do that gives me energy, and that's going for a walk or riding my bike. And I've gone through a period where I was walking around the neighborhood every single morning. And then I had a period of time where I didn't because other things popped up. And guess what happens? Neglect starts to seep in. And just how easy it was to establish that habit of walking every day, it was just as easy to throw it off kilter and not do it. Okay? A lot of these things are really easy to do, and they're easy not to do. My mentor and coach would always say, you have a choice. It's easy to do, and it's easy not to do. Which do you choose? So going for that walk or hike or going to the gym, it's easy. It's easy to do. It's also easy not to do. So remember to exercise regularly. Now this next one, again, a no-brainer. Take a look at your diet. How are you fueling your body? Remember, your body is everything. This is our vessel. And we need to give it the proper fuel. I don't know what kind of car you drive, but if you have a nice car, you probably treat it well. You take it to the car wash. You may give it some premium gas. You make sure you have the oil levels checked, and you change the oil every 3 to 5 months, 6 months, whatever the recommendation is. We need to really take a step back on what we're putting in our mouth, in the food that we eat. And I still struggle. So I've made a lot of great changes over the last couple of years. And one of the bad habits of mine that I'm super proud that I don't do anymore is drinking and alcohol. And because I was able to remove that habit, it allowed me to focus on health and nutrition and energy and exercise, because I wasn't feeling hungover or tired or exhausted or just, if you do drink, you know what that can do and how that the after effects and how that can make you feel. So it affects everything. So take it a step further and look at what you're putting in your body. How are you fueling your body? So not only with water and everything, but the foods that we eat. There's a lot of great podcasts out there on health, and and insulin resistance, and making sure you monitor your blood sugar levels. It's very important because the foods we eat can dramatically spike our insulin levels and can cause all kinds of problems. And so it's very important to make sure you're eating nutrient-rich foods, whole grains, fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats. What I've learned is you always start with a protein, you augment that with a healthy fat like an avocado or olive oil or some nuts, and then you would have, some more, carbs. If you're going to have carbs, make sure you augment it and make sure you have protein first and some healthy fats that may help minimize that spike in insulin. But it's a no-brainer. How you eat will affect your energy. Next is, how do we manage stress? Now, stress can be a good thing, right? It can be a motivator. It gets us moving. It puts a little pressure on us to perform and to proactively react to the world around us. But too much stress in the wrong way can be damaging. So a habit that I've always promoted that is very helpful is meditation or breathing. So throughout the day, if you're feeling stressed, it's so simple just to take a moment and breathe. It's amazing what just breathing can do. I know I can go so long and not be aware and be like, am I even breathing? So remember to breathe. People meditate. Again, I suggest starting small, 5 minutes, and work your way up, but it can be incredibly relaxing. It can help manage that stress. It can help bring those energy levels back up. Next is what I like to do throughout the day, and it's super important in work, in life, throughout the day. Take mini breaks from whatever you're doing. Take mini breaks. Use that time, use that break to stretch. Use that time to get some water. Use that time to just kind of move around, reassess where you're at, breathe. Breaks are so important, and they can be so beneficial and can really help generate and increase and get those energy levels back up. The next one is a favorite of mine because that's what we're here to do and promote a positive mindset and habits for a better everyday life, and that is cultivating a positive mindset. You can't have a negative mindset or be in a bad mood and have high energy. It just doesn't go hand in hand. So let's get back to, again, how important our thoughts are, and having a positive mindset, expressing gratitude will help generate energy. It's so important. Energy. I have an exercise I like to share with my clients, and I want to share with you. It's, again, super simple, but it's taking a sheet of paper, drawing a line down the middle, and on the left-hand side at the top right, energy enhancers, and on the right side, right, energy drainers. So in the morning, when you're having your lemon water or a coffee, or you're on one of those little mini breaks, get out a sheet of paper. We're going to look at our energy levels to see where we are, and I want you to list out everything that enhances your energy on one side of the column and everything that drains you of your energy on the right side column. Okay, energy drainers. Oh my God, I was on TikTok for 2 hours yesterday. Oh my God, energy drainer. Oh, I was, talking to someone who just, they were in a bad place and they were just complaining, and that might be an energy drainer. Or what about an energy enhancer? I went for a walk. I took a ride on my bike. I went for a swim. I started to write my book. Those are energy enhancers. Or I played soccer with my boys. It's an energy enhancer. So make that list, because awareness is 50% of the battle. Being aware of our habits, being aware of our state of being. Where are we? How are we feeling? Where's our energy level? So being aware of what are those habits that enhance our energy and what are those habits that drain our energy, so you can start to take action and create new habits that could eliminate those draining habits and start to stack more of the energy enhancing habits. So I want to share that simple exercise with you that you can do to start to create awareness. So when you're like, where am I today on a 1 to 10 energy level? I'm a 7. Okay, what have I been doing? What have been some energy enhancers? What are some drainers? How can I change that? Where can I put my focus and energy on where I can do those things that create and enhance my energy, whether it's drinking more water, taking breaks, exercising, going for a walk, meditating, eating better, having a positive mindset. Those will all help you create more energy in your life. Because imagine now, I want to paint this picture. You have an incredible amount of energy every day. What would you create? What would you do if you had 3 times the energy that you have now? Imagine what you can accomplish. Imagine where you can go. Imagine what you could do with others. Imagine reaching your goals. Imagine writing that book. Imagine traveling to that country. Imagine being present for your family. Imagine playing soccer with your kids. Do something today. Focus. Be aware of your energy. It is so important. And be aware of the energy that you emit when you walk into a room, when you meet someone, when you're about to tackle a project. What is that energy that you are bringing, that you are emanating? Because it will be attracted and reflected back on you. I hope you found this episode very beneficial when it comes to energy. And I want to give thanks to Albert Einstein for his amazing quote for us to ponder about it. And it's everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. Albert Einstein. If you found value in this episode, please share it with your friends, share it with your family. Be sure to check back each and every week. Download this, give me a review, give me feedback. What are some of the things you want me to coach you on, you want to hear, you want to listen about when it comes to helping you live a better everyday life? And I'm sure you can hear the sounds in the background and the wind and the energy that is surrounding me right now, because I am feeling energized that I have been able to share this with you, because my mission is to impact lives and to help people live a better everyday life through positive habits. And I want you to be at a high energy level all the time. I hope you have the best day, the best week ever. Joy, peace, love, and lemon water. Billy.